Welcome to the Impactful Introvert podcast. I'm your host, Seema Pateel, an introverted business coach and a mom of two. My genius shines in helping introverted women map out a simple and sustainable marketing strategy tailored to their goals and introverted personalities. Every week, I'll share with you how you can simplify your marketing so that it is sustainable. After all, you started your business to serve clients and make an impact, not to master marketing. So, let's jump right in. Hey there, welcome. And today's topic is another introvert friendly marketing strategy, email marketing, as you can see from the title. Now, there's one thing I want to say even before I get started on the topic is that most of email marketing is not introvert specific. Like the only energy intensive aspect is when you are engaging with your subscribers. So, most of this can be implemented by anybody, introverts and extroverts, and you already probably know. However, I wanted to touch on certain topics, certain aspects of email marketing strategy that will help you get started sooner than later. So, before even I get into what's and how's, etc., I just want to touch upon why email marketing. I know you have heard from everyone because email marketing is the latest thing as to why you should be focusing your time and energy on email marketing. That is what I'm going to talk about when I say why email marketing, because I know you know that it is important because you own your list. You have the contact details of everyone who subscribes in such a way that you can actually take it with you. You can make a copy of it and you can use it you either without using an email service provider or with another email service provider. So that is the biggest thing that everyone talks about. The other thing that you definitely must have heard is how emails are not algorithm dependent. Yes, your emails get delivered as long as you have taken care of your deliverability from your end. The latest Yahoo and Google updates on DKIM and other aspects I don't remember right now. But if you've taken care of that and you are working with a reputed email service provider, then you don't have to be concerned about your emails getting delivered. Most likely they are not even going into spam or promotions, they are going into regular emails depending on how you craft your email. So that is another huge plus point as to why you should have an email list, why you should leverage email marketing. However, I find that as an introvert, emails help build a deeper relationship in comparison to on social media, because as someone who's receiving newsletters, I am the only one reading it. Yes, I'm aware that the emails are going to as many people as there are on the list. So it's not just coming to me. Yet, the content can seem to read exactly as if it's created for me, as if they're writing just to me, because of, firstly, the ability to personalize it. Secondly, because I'm the only one reading. It's not on a public platform, it's in my personal email inbox. So that feeling is completely different. That psychological shift is there subconsciously. So, how can you leverage this to deepen your relationship with your subscribers is completely dependent on you. But you have that opportunity when it comes to emails versus social media. The other thing is that it has the highest return on investment according to multiple sources, especially the email service providers. Yet, I've heard from other coaches and marketers too that emails, the return on investment is a lot higher when compared to ads, especially. And that makes it a no brainer that you should be investing in leveraging email marketing. And the last thing The very thing that social media fails us at is your emails are more or less guaranteed to be read. If your emails provide value, then I'm very confident that the people will open and at least glance through every single email that you send so that they can glean whatever information or value that they can over a period. So on social media, they may not even see. Even if they're seen, they are getting distracted by the other content. They may just have seen a funny cat video and they are more eager to see another one of those on social media versus on email. They're not looking for anything uh, mind numbing. So they are willing to open and read whatever you've written. If you keep sending high value emails, then you have a very good chance of your email being read every single time. Those are just some of the reasons why you, as a person who has no email list and who's been considering leveraging email marketing but has been putting off for various reasons, should focus on email marketing now. It's not just because it's the in thing right now. But I know why you have been putting it off, and let's address what you don't need to do in order to have a high conversion email marketing strategy. Again, I want to say this, that it is not going to be a high conversion email marketing strategy for someone who has a decent sized list. They need to focus on all of these because that is the level that they are at. Where what I'm going to share is for those people who do not have an email list, who probably have a really small audience, really, really small audience, under 500 people following them on any platform, and they are fairly new, who haven't worked with a lot of clients. So that is what I mean by new. And as someone who is interested in planning, who, as an introvert, most of us are planners and overanalyzers and overthinkers, this is for those people who keep saying that after so and so things are set up, that is when I'm going to start leveraging email marketing. This is for these uh, the whole episode is geared towards them. So this is what I do not want you to focus on when you're thinking about starting your email list. The very first thing is you don't need a welcome email sequence. Yes, people will get your freebie and then they will start getting your regular emails, and that is totally fine. This is not to say that welcome email sequences don't provide a certain benefit. They do, definitely. Every email expert is going to list a at least 5 reasons why you should have a welcome email sequence. And yet, if that is keeping you from emailing from even starting your email list, then it's not worth it. It's not worth it in this moment. It doesn't even have value if your email list size is anything under 100. It has no value having an email list. I am saying this with complete understanding that someone may come and refute. However, if you just have 100 people and you're not consistently sending them weekly emails, then your welcome email sequence does nothing unless it's a 15 or 20 emails long sequence. Yes, a welcome email sequence is only 3 to 7 emails. However, I don't want you to wait on focusing on getting consistent with your emails to your first 3 or first 5 or first 25 subscribers on a weekly basis. If the welcome email sequence is stopping you from talking about your lead magnet, then I want you to forget about a welcome email sequence until at least you have 100 people on your list. By the time you have 100 people, you will have written the copy for your welcome email sequences. You can download. There are so many people sharing welcome email sequence as their lead magnet. So you can download them and make them work. But You don't need it right now. Don't let that be an excuse to not emailing your list that you already have of 3, 5, 10, 25 people, or not starting an email list. The second thing, this should have been the first one. However, the second thing, it's a second thing on my outline. You don't need an email marketing strategy. Yes, you don't need an email marketing strategy. The caveat here is that a strategy makes it easy to get to the end goal of conversions, converting your subscribers into clients. But again, if there are certain things that are not working for you already, then you are definitely not getting conversions. So let's focus on those aspects. I will talk about it in the next segment of this podcast. But let's not make not having an email marketing strategy be the reason why you're not sending emails regularly, be the reason why you are not getting inviting people to sign up for your email newsletter, whether it is by sharing a lead magnet multiple times, not just once or twice. And let it not be the reason why you just keep putting off the whole idea, because yes, the concept of strategy itself can make you feel overwhelmed and not take action in the moment. So let's not let it keep you from leveraging emails. And the last point I want you to stop focusing on right now and just start emailing your list, or just start a list with subscribers, is to not bother about all the fancy things that an email marketing email service platform provides you, whether it's list segmentation, list grouping, tagging, etc. You don't need to be aware of all of those things. It's completely fine if you have a list of 1,000 or 5,000 people and you haven't bothered to segment it. Now, the segmentation and the grouping and tagging all make sense when you have multiple offers which cater to a larger target audience. However, have very specific traits in these audience who will be attracted to a specific offer that you have. So if you do not have a very large list, then you don't need to bother about segmenting. And especially if you have just one or two offers which are relevant to each other, then you definitely don't need segmentation, not right now. And if it is something that feels too complicated for you, then consider this: once you have an email list that brings you clients, then you can pay someone, you can hire them to help you beautify your email list and make it the most efficient. Okay. So you don't have to figure out everything right now. All you have to do is start focusing on having an email list where conversions happen with ease. Like, that's the focus. Yes, strategy is needed for that. The segmentation makes it easier, and all of that is very true. But if you're just getting started, then all of that doesn't make sense. All of that doesn't help you. Here's what you need to focus on. Let's talk about exactly what you need to focus on. The very first thing I want you to focus on is to commit emailing your list weekly, irrespective of how many people are on that list. You are going to email your list every single week, whether it's once, twice, or thrice. It doesn't matter at this point if you are not emailing at least once. So don't make it a huge deal. Think about what is one thing you can send to your list every single week. If you're posting content consistently on social media, you can just talk about one of your posts, especially the one that did well in the past week, and send that to your list. Elaborate a little on what you were talking about on that post, or what inspired you to um, create that post, or what kind of responses you got and what you think about those responses. All of this makes for great emails because they are adding value to your people. You can just ask people questions if you don't have much to share in that week. If you missed posting for whatever reasons and you're thinking, I don't have anything because I didn't post to social media, you don't have to skip emailing that week. You can simply send an email asking them something. It need not be very profound. A simple, I was struggling to write content because of so and so reason. I missed writing content and I would like some inspiration. Do you have any tips? Do you have any podcast recommendations? Do you have anything that can help me get back on track? Even that, I mean, it depends on what kind of service you provide. Otherwise, even that can be a great way to stay connected, to send an email weekly. It doesn't have to look like the Amy Porterfields. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's. You can create your own way of connecting and nurturing your people. So, the very first step is emailing at least once a week. You have to make it a point that you will send an email once a week. If you pick a day to send, that is amazing. But if you cannot commit to a day, then let that not stop you. Email any day you're ready. What's most important here is that you get into the habit of sending one email a day, one email a week, because we want your people to get used to reading your emails and connecting with you. And since emails have a better reachability rate and read rate, it makes a lot of sense to focus on sending at least one email a week rather than focusing on 5 posts a week. I didn't intend to say that posting 5 times on social media is not worth it. It is. It has a different kind of value versus emails being sent to your subscribers. Now, step 2 in having a high converting email strategy that doesn't involve huge steps or huge planning is work on your email open rates. Now, if you have signed up for a reputed email service provider and you've taken care of all the tech that needs to be taken care of so that you have good deliverability, then you don't need to think about deliverability. Otherwise, focus on getting your emails delivered into their inbox rather than spam and promotions tab. But after that, the next step is definitely to work on your emails getting opened. Again, all the email experts have freebies for this, tips for this. So you don't have to overthink, overplan on this. What I have found to be working very well for me is that I am either talking about something that is relevant in conversation currently on social media, that in the headline definitely gets opens. But otherwise, most often what has worked is my subject line introduces something that I have written towards the middle of, like, it's more like curiosity inducing subject rather than giving a gist of what's in there. That is how we work in the corporate space, and that is how I was sending emails, and I was barely getting 10 to 15% email open rate. However, when I started introducing something that is a part of the email in the subject line, I've seen close to 40% open rate week after week after week for months now. So again, I am not overthinking. Currently, I am talking about managing summer. How are you going to manage your marketing during summer? I have a 5-day challenge coming up where I'm going to help you create a 5-hour per week marketing plan. so that you can stay consistent with your marketing and enjoy the summer vacation with kids. So if you're interested in learning more about it, it's the it's my 5-hour sales boost challenge. It's to help you consistently make sales in just 5 hours a week over the summer. I will help you come up with daily action steps that will take you no longer than an hour to complete. And the strategy is introvert friendly marketing, where you're going to continue to market your services. However, you're not going to spend hours and hours on it. I talk about how to create content efficiently and in the shortest amount of time, and connect with your audience, because that is key. If you're not making the effort to stay connected and nurture them through conversations, then you are losing out on the people who are actually ready to buy and just need that tiny nudge. Not you pushing them into a sale, but the personal connection that you develop, that is the nudge they need. So you're going to receive all of this, and it's a 5-day challenge. And at the end of the challenge, you will have a marketing plan ready for the coming week. I will put the link for the sign up page in the show notes and you can sign up for it. However, the point I was trying to make was that I am talking about summer. So one of my email subject lines was, how is it end of June? How is June coming to an end already? Or something like that. Sometimes when I'm talking about a specific topic, like my subject line will be like, I didn't think so and so was possible. So something like that. That creates intrigue so that they want to open and read. It is never bait and switch. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So that is not what I'm going to do. It is clickbaity because you're baiting them into opening the emails, but then you're delivering on the bait. So, step 2 of your amazing email marketing strategy that converts is to work on having email open rates close to 30% at least. And now you can call this step 2.5 or 3.5, place it wherever you want. It is to invite them to reply to you. If you are not inviting people to have conversations with you, then you're missing out. Again, the nudge that they need, that comes from the familiarity, personal familiarity. I'm saying this like, don't think that you need to be sharing everything with everyone on your email list. No, think about this. People love celebrities. Let me just focus on the influencers. Why do you think that the influencer culture just boomed? It was mainly because these people were sharing about themselves, depending on however comfortable they are. And that made you feel very close to the person, very familiar about the person, like you knew them. The reason actors feel so close to us is because we have seen them in a specific setup, in a specific world, and we feel like we can connect to them in that specific world. A lot of fans, super fans, in fact, forget that these are just actors playing a role because they feel so connected to that character in that specific world that they easily overlook that it's an actor. So that connection is what makes people actually buy. Now, I am someone who makes quick buying decisions. I don't need the connection. However, that specific thinking is not conducive to sales, is what I've understood. Because without the connection, most people don't feel like opening up their wallet and giving their hard-earned money. So please understand that you have to invite them to reply to you. I have a confession to make that I'll make towards the end. Step 3 then is to work on the clicks, whether it is clicking links that you share, whether, like if I am talking about my 5-hour work week, I want people to click and at least check out the opt-in page. Even if they don't opt in, like it'll be harder to figure out why people are not opting in if I don't look at my email stats and see that people are clicking? If they are not clicking, I have to figure out why they are not clicking. So work on the clicks, get the clicks, and then think about how you can move to the conversion in the next step. So these links could be your social media handles or a post that you've shared as your weekly email newsletter. Insert a link to the post itself after having talked about the post. And that information is so valuable because if they are not clicking through to read the entire post, then that tells you that that specific post is not as interesting to them. However, when they are clicking, that tells you they are interested in it. That tells you to create more on that specific topic or more of that kind of content, etc. So you're getting valuable information from the clicks. So it can be clicks on the social media posts that you've shared. It can be clicks on the web pages that you share, whether it is your own lead magnets, whether it is your own gifts to them that you can share. You can create stuff for specifically your list and share with them, whether it is because you are sharing somebody else's things. So affiliate links, etc., all of the links matter. Whether and you can also get to know your people better by inserting quizzes and surveys. It doesn't always have to be very complicated. You can one thing that I saw was really good was that I had this was in the email sequence. You don't welcome email sequence. You don't have to have a welcome email sequence. You can just create this email and then later on put it in a welcome email sequence where you're asking the person a relevant question, which helps you identify what their interest is, and post a link which goes to a social media post or something like that, or a group of social media posts um, shared in that particular thing, or a blog post, whatever, something that adds value. So when they click the link, they get more value because they click the link. So think about how you can make it happen. So that's just helping them get used to clicking on the links, and that's helping you understand them, and it's helping your deliverability a lot. So that's step 3. Again, step 1 is committing to emailing at least once a week. Step 2 is working on email opens. If you're worried why your emails are not getting clicked, like why your links are not getting clicked when your emails barely get opened, then you need to understand that before even link clicks comes, email open. So work on email open rate, get it as high as possible. There is I'm not saying get it to a certain percentage simply because it depends on your audience. Yes, there are industry standards. I don't want you to focus on that because I know that'll get you get your focus away from what's more important. Just focus on having your email open rates improve month after month. And once you have it, like aim for a number. If it is currently 10%, then double it to 20%, and then start focusing on clicks. Let them click links in your email. So simple questions and surveys and quizzes are a great way for them to click and get something. Invite them. Like step 3.5 is invite them to reply to you. Ask them questions and invite them to reply to you in at least twice a month. So that is at least once every alternate week. Step 4 is get better at inviting people to sign up for your lead magnet. That's step 4. Yes, you need to have your list keep growing constantly, but that is not where it starts. It doesn't matter how large your group is if people are not engaging. So we are going to prioritize having people engage with your emails first than just prioritizing on growing the list. I'm not saying do this only. It all works together. It's like for an apple pie, you can't create the pie crust separate. Like you can't eat the pie crust separate and then eat the filling separate. It has to go together. Like you make them. The whole dish is by putting everything together. It's the same with most strategies. So understand that yes, you have to focus on this, but if you're not even sending emails, then you're paying for your email service provider for no reason by having thousands of people on there. So let's not forget that we need our list to keep growing, but also that we need to keep sending emails to the list. And one of the coaches I follow has a great philosophy. Says, don't think that you are emailing your list too much. Even if you're emailing every single day, it's totally fine because that works for you. Like you have the capacity to send an email every single day. Amazing. But if you're going to send only one email a month, think about when are you going to sell to them. If you say I'm going to sell to them in every email, that because I send only once a month, then you're selling to them in every email. Every single email is a sales email. Does that feel better, or getting emails from you twice, thrice, or five times a week and you're selling only once a month? Like out of the 4 to 25 emails, only one is a sales email. Which feels better to you? However, I'm not saying sell only once a month. Like that is great. If you're selling once a month is great. But don't just keep putting off selling in your emails. Selling doesn't necessarily, okay, you're always selling, but you're not making sales always. What that means is every time you ask them to do something which helps you gather data, even you're selling. They're not making the purchase, but they are getting sold on the idea of working with you, on the idea of you being an amazing service provider, on the idea of you having great offers, etc. So they are getting sold on you, on your offers, on your personality, etc. But you're not making sales offers. You're not inviting them for a direct sale. That you have to understand has to happen. You have to say, sign up to work with me at least once a month. At least once a month. So make sure that you're sending that kind of content too, not just value content, but you're inviting them to work with you so that they can experience all the amazing things that you're talking about in your content otherwise. So these are the 4 important steps that you should focus on when starting your email list, rather than thinking about how can you have an email sequence or how to grow your list fast, etc. Now I will talk to you a little bit about list growth tactics because that is important, like I said. So the first thing is, at least once a week on social media, invite people, like post one story, one post where you're inviting people to sign up for your lead magnet. Then the other way is to swap freebies with other people who share your audience. So you can just pitch to people and say, hey, we seem to have similar uh, interest, people who have similar interests. Would you be willing to share my lead magnet? I'd be happy to send my email list your lead magnet. So that can be done on emails, that can be done on social media, etc. Collaborative events is another way. Bundles have been working really well for me. Bundles and summits are great. You get a bunch of people signing up, and then you get to work on nurturing these people. And it's great because you have a bigger amount of data to work with. So, collab events are great. You can even be a guest on blogs, on podcasts, and instead of just sharing your social media platform and 10 other things, only share your lead magnet as a way to connect with you. Say, I'd love to hear from people and I have something to offer to them. This is my offer. It's free. All you have to do is sign up. So that can be one of the things. Again, there is no dearth of free information on Google on how to grow your list, but I don't want you to do 10,000 things. The priority is not to have amass a number of email subscribers. The priority is to have a hot leads list. So work on leveraging one or two tactics that will help you connect with the most ideal target audience. Now, the aspect that I want to talk about to introverts, especially, is how to manage your energy when you start seeing responses to your quizzes, to the questions that you ask, etc. The key here is to set boundaries, because as your list grows, it will start feeling very overwhelming to respond to people. So have boundaries as to how often you check your emails, how often you look at the responses, and how much time you're going to take to respond to them. As your list grows bigger, you will not be able to respond to everyone. And that's a problem for another time. Right now, set aside time. Like in these 15 minutes, I am going to reply to the people who have taken the time to respond to my emails. And I'm going to do it 2 times a week, 3 times a week. And you can even put it in your email PS that you always reply to your emails. However, being an introvert, you have set certain boundaries, which means the person is going to get a response guaranteed. It's just that it may take a little time. And by saying that, you have shared a little bit about yourself without getting too vulnerable. Even these things help people connect with you. So set boundaries on response times, on how often you're going to read, when you're going to read. Set days and time so that you know exactly when you're handling this. You can also use, if you're using Gmail, I don't know about other service providers like other email clients, but Gmail has an autoresponder that I always use when I'm going on vacation. But that was like only for my clients. But I can see that you can use that also to respond to people instantly. Like instant response goes, but you are not responding. You are responding to them at your set date and time. So that gives the other person who has a little bit of tendency of feeling anxious that, did the person get my email? Why have they not replied? So someone like me would benefit from receiving an autoresponder, like an acknowledgement that they got it and they will get back to me. So that helps too. You can use that as well. And the thing that most introverts struggle with, especially when it comes to social media, is vulnerability. You have to show, you have to share a little bit of yourself on your email list as well, but again, on any platform. How vulnerable you get, what you share about you, is completely in your control. There is no need to be like anybody else. You share what you want to share, you share how much you want to share. And let me tell you, I don't enjoy putting my kids' pictures up on social media, etc. So you will not see them very much. However, you will still see them. There are moments when I am sharing about them, what they are doing. Like I am sharing that school's coming to an end, and school's coming to an end for a lot of kids this week. So it's not something very extremely personal, but it's not something that like there are many kids, many school districts where school has already ended. So my kids don't belong there. So there is a little bit of information being shared. There's a little bit of vulnerability, but it's just exactly how much I am comfortable with. So that is the thing. And the confession I have is I am not very good at inviting people to reply to my emails. Like there are quizzes and surveys and clicks to my podcast, etc. However, as a person, I prefer one-on-one conversations for the simple reason that um, when we are having a conversation, and if the conversation, like if what the person is saying reminds me of something, then I'm eager to pitch in. Depending on how eager I am, I may interrupt or I may just wait for my turn to speak. But it's not like I'm waiting for them to say, so Seema, did this happen to you? No. It's like the moment I see a break, I am saying, hey, this happened to me too. And that is the kind of thing I'm expecting. So somehow I haven't yet got a grip of doing that in emails yet. So I am like in conversations, nobody's saying, so did this happen to you? Very rarely. It like you're saying it to kids. You're not saying it in an adult conversation. So I am yet to master the art of inviting people to reply to me in conversations. Like I'm asking questions, but I don't know if it's being as effective because the number of responses to clicks is a lot better than email replies to me. But having said that, my vulnerable emails do get responses. Every time I've said I'm struggling with something or I don't like this, I don't know what to do about it, kind of things, I've got replies from people saying, oh, I understand. I wish I had a solution for you, or you could try this, or you want to try this. So I have got responses, and that's been amazing. But I still have to get better at inviting people to reply to me. So this is your introvert friendly email marketing strategy that you can start implementing right away. You don't have to wait for very long. I hope this has been helpful, and I'm excited to hear from you as to how you have implemented it. And I'm definitely eager to learn what is keeping you from sending emails or even starting an email list. Please feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. My handle is Seema Pateel, my name. The link's in the show notes. And I'd be happy to give you tips. It's easier for me to share when I know the specifics, because when I'm trying to come up with content, I'm like, what about this? What about that? What about this? And it feels a little overwhelming because I don't want to talk about all of this in one episode. It gets really long. But I'd be more than happy to talk about what's going on with you, with your specific situation, and help you out in any way I can. So send me a message. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Impactful Introvert podcast. If you want to share your views, opinions, or ask me questions, then please send me a message on Instagram. My handle is Seema Pateel. See you in the next one.